Hey friend, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Deb Brown. I'm the author of God's Girls, Embracing His Calling, Leaving a Legacy. Whether you purchase this book at a speaking event where we met or downloaded it for free online, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited for our times together in the coming weeks. How this is going to work is I'm going to just do a brief introduction, 10-15 minutes max, of each session, each God's Girl that we're going to look at. And you can use them in your small group. You can just use them if you're doing the study all by yourself. But if you are doing it just yourself, will you please ask someone to join you? There's just something about doing a study together for more fun, more accountability, having a prayer partner. And if you don't have that person, I'll be that person for you. So thank you so much for joining us. We are going to have a blast, I think. We're going to learn about each woman. And these women that are listed in Matthew chapter 1, they are not perfect. Does not help you just breathe a sigh of relief. They are not perfect women. God just didn't show us perfection and expect us to live up to it. No, He didn't. He loves us too much for that. He showed us women who are just like us, who struggled in areas just like we do. And He's showing us how He used them, flaws and all, to draw them closer to Himself, to create in them and build up in them women who are strong and courageous and who made choices that honored Him at the very end. So I'm excited. I've learned so much from these women, and I can't wait to share that with you. We will be studying 6 women. 5 of those women are listed in Matthew chapter 1. The last one is you. We're going to talk about God's calling on your life, how He designed us and created us to walk in an adventure only He could have created and designed just for us. So I hope you'll join me in that. And if you find that this video thing just isn't your thing, that's okay. You don't need it to do the study. All the work is right there. And you know what? I'm a brand new video girl. So hopefully as these sessions go on, you'll see an improvement. I sure hope so. But if you need them, they're here for you. So thanks for joining us. The 5 women listed in Matthew chapter 1. Tamar. And with each woman, I gave a character quality that I felt like just kept coming up in my study. And so for Tamar, she's the believing one. Rahab, the courageous one. Ruth, the redeemed one. Bathsheba, the forgiven one. Mary, the obedient one. And you, dear friend, the called one. Each lesson, you will be digging deep into God's Word. Grab your table of contents. You're going to be needing it. My words are simple. I am a simple girl. But God's words are powerful. They are meant to redeem us and to heal us and to bring us deeper along in our walk with Him. And so I'm counting on that. So you're going to be spending lots of time in His Word. Grab some 3x5 cards. You are going to need them. Often I will say, grab your 3x5 card. There's got to be a verse that you want to learn. And write it down. There's just something about putting it from our head through our fingers to the paper that help us remember it. And then take them with you. I toss mine into my purse. I have it in my car. I have verses on my bathroom window, mirror. And you're just going to need them. God's Word is powerful, and when we hide it deep in our hearts, that's when the change happens. I'm in the carpool season of my life and motherhood, and so often I'm waiting for piano lessons, waiting for dance lessons, waiting for whatever, and I'll just grab my spiral and I'll just flip through and keep reading those verses over and over. So as your sessions go on, your 3x5 cards are going to multiply, but use them, dear one. You are going to need them. So, Tamar, with each session, I'm going to just give a little brief lesson on what I've learned about her, and maybe a personal story or two and a challenge for you at the end. So Tamar, the believing one. I learned just to love her and to get to know her. Her life was not easy. Her life was not easy. One of the things that characterized her life, I believe, was waiting. And you will find that in each one of our women. And I bet you I would find it in you too. My story is one of waiting. I waited for a dad for a long time. My dad decided to leave when I was young. He, he was an alcoholic, he was abusive, and he wanted a firstborn son. I was a firstborn. I was not what he wanted. He reminded me daily that I was not what he wanted me to be. And he left. And so I prayed and prayed and prayed and asked God to bring me a daddy. It didn't happen in the physical realm, but God showed me year after year after year, and it took a long time for my broken heart to heal, that he is my father and that he loves me. And he showed that to me, and I'm like Tamar was believing that. And even now I'll get a wave of missing a daddy. But God is my father, and he has shown that to me and proved that to me over and over and over again. So that was a huge waiting season in my life. And you're going to read more about that in session 1. And that led me to waiting for a husband. Now, I did not jump up and down. I was not excited about getting married, really, truly. I wanted to be a mama in the worst way. I wasn't so sure about the guy part, But God is so faithful, isn't he? I learned during that waiting time that God is more faithful than my highest standard. So if you're waiting, God is more faithful. Aim high. It is okay. He is more faithful than that. And my guy is not perfect, but he is perfect for me. And he was definitely worth the wait. So after those 2 areas of waiting, I certainly didn't think I'd have to wait for children, because I wanted to be a mama since I was 8. That's all I knew that I wanted to be. But God had different plans. And in that waiting, he caused us to wait for children. And that painful story, with an amazing happy ending, is written in session 1. But I want you to know, wherever you're at in the waiting, you're not there alone. God is with you in the waiting, just like he was with Tamar and what he did for her in her seasons of waiting, and what he will do for you. Sometimes we just want the end, don't we? We just want to see the end and then go that way. But in the wait, we just don't sit around. We still walk out what God's called us to do, and we trust him, and we hold on to his hand in the waiting. In Isaiah, there are several verses about God holding our hands. And you'll find out during this study that I am a word nerd. Dictionary.com is my friend. I love figuring out the meaning of words and how they apply. But that word hold literally means stuck like glue. So God's got you. He is the one doing the holding. And there may be days when it doesn't seem like it. But you need to believe, like Tamar, that God's got you. Maybe one of those hold verses needs to go on a 3x5 card. Wherever you're at in the waiting, God knows exactly where you're at. With each session, there will be a signature verse, a key verse that we'll be working on memorizing. And you may say, whoa, Deb, back up the truck. I am not good at memorizing. Well, my brain's getting older too. But repetition is great. Those moments where you're just sitting, waiting, just keep reviewing those words, and God will hide them deep, deep in your heart. So for tomorrow, the verse is Isaiah 43:10. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you may know and believe and understand that I am he. Before me no God was formed, nor will there be one after me. I love that middle part. I love the challenge, so that we may know and believe and understand that God is who he says he is. And I believe that this study will take us there. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it so much. So we'll see you next week as we talk about Rahab. Can't wait. Thank you.